What is up, my friend? This is Josh West with Cellar Sound. I am back with another Logic tutorial for you. And this week we are going to be talking about vocal reverb. So over the next few weeks, I'm going to be going through how to set up a series of effects on your vocal as kind of like a starting place to start your song. And this is a starting place that I always start with my mixes. I always kind of have these same similar elements, and there's three main elements that is in all my mix templates, and they're ready to go because I know I can get a really good sound at the start of the project, and then I kind of move forward with that. So this week we're talking about reverb. Next week we're going to be talking about some delay. And then the third week we're going to do some more advanced kind of delay. And we're going to combine these three and mix them together to make vocal sound awesome, while also thinking about the band mix, while also thinking about the other instruments. We're not trying to get on top of the other instruments. We're not trying to take over with a ton of effects. We want to highlight the vocal while also giving room for the band. So first off, if you haven't yet, please go grab my Ultimate Vocal Preset Bundle. I created a preset bundle that's completely free for you that has over 30 presets, all on EQ, compression, and saturation. They work in GarageBand as well as Logic, and it comes with a free training video that walks you through how to put these on your computer so they can be accessed on either platforms. And it's perfect for you if you are just learning how to EQ vocals, where to place those spots, and it's even better for compression because I walk through the settings and what is in each preset and how to adjust these presets so that they'll work perfectly on any vocal that you have. So this isn't a preset bundle that you can just throw on all these presets on any vocal and it's going to work. I truly don't really believe in those. These are presets that are designed to help you learn how to EQ a vocal, how to compress a vocal, and how to add saturation in the best way to really give that vocal some shine and sparkle. So I have here today a band rough mix that I kind of just bounced down from a different session, from Pro Tools session, and then we have the lead vocal. So I'm just going to play a little bit for you so you can kind of hear what we're working with.
She turned and sailed away from her Nantucket shore to find a creature in the ocean far below.
Cool. Great sounding vocal, is recorded very well, and the band's really simple. It's just acoustic guitar. It's an acoustic guitar song. So we want to keep that in mind as we're building out these effects here. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so we can see everything. We're going to start in this section here, and I'm going to play a little bit of that real quick.
I fought the fight to take revenge. Although we die again.
All right. So a lot of people, whenever they do reverb, they like to put reverb straight as a plugin on top of this lead vocal channel, and I always stress to not do that. It works, it does work, but it doesn't allow you to mix things like the pros mix them. You want to be efficient and quick, and you want to be able to make overall adjustments in your mix without thinking, like, let's just say you're in the middle of a really big mix and you've already set up all your reverbs on your vocal channels, and you get to a point where you're like, ooh, I need to lower the vocal. Well, instead of just grabbing a fader that the reverb is on, you have to go and find the lead vocal, go to the plugin, turn down the mix percentage, and it's just inefficient and not the greatest way to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our sends here on the lead vocal channel. I have the lead vocal selected. Sends, we're going to go to bus, and we're going to go to a new bus, which is going to be bus 1. Let me show my mixer view here. Boom. So we're going to name this Vox Verb. All right, and what's cool is if you get in the habit of naming your auxes, they show up whenever you go to your bus assignment right here. It shows that bus 1 is going to Vox Verb, so we know that that is there. And another thing that I like to do personally is I like to right-click this and go to Create Track. Now what this does, let me hide this mixer view. What this does is it creates an actual track here underneath your lead vocal, which is kind of nice because if you're going through a bunch of tracks and whatever, you don't have to keep going back to that mixer view. You can just lower the vocal reverb right here if you wanted to. But all right, so let's go back to our box verb, and we are going to add a reverb here. Reverb. We're going to do silver verb mono stereo. So we always typically want to go mono stereo. And what this means is it's taking this mono vocal and it's going to a stereo reverb, a space, right? We don't walk into a room and hear everything coming straight down the center. We walk into a room and we hear it in our left ear and our right ear, and we have this spatial awareness, and that's kind of what we want going forward with our reverbs. All right, so we're going to find a preset here, and we're going to go to Hall. There it is. So just out of the gate, let's lower these back so we can see everything. Okay, so now I'm going to turn up this knob here right next to our sends, our bus 1, and try and find a decent spot for this. And I usually start at like -10 out of just habit and see if that works. So we want to place this just underneath the vocal. So we don't want it to completely cover up the vocal. We also don't want to completely cover up the band. So we're trying to find that kind of fine line.
I fought the fight to take revenge. Although we die again to end the rule of Moby Dick and pull them down under the Essex founders.
So that's actually a really cool reverb sound. It added a vibe to the song, and it kind of matched her singing really well. Sometimes I'll come in here and I'll make the size bigger or smaller depending on how fast the track is, and also where the space is, right? We have a lot of space in this song because it's just acoustic guitar and her vocal. So we have room to have a longer Hall reverb that sounds really nice. So this is a good starting place. I'm going to solo up this lead vocal so we can just hear the lead vocal and the box verb.
I fought the fight to take revenge, although we died.
And it's crazy because soloed out, it sounds like it's too much, but then we put the band back in.
I fought the fight to take revenge, although we died.
Sounds really nice. All right, so let's go back to soloing this vocal. The next big thing that I want to do is I want to work with this pre-delay here. So I'm going to have the vocal soloed, and pre-delay is such an important thing as far as reverbs because it separates the lead vocal and that reverb. It defines them as two different spaces, and it adds a really cool effect to where it almost sounds like a delay, but you know it's reverb, and it's really fun to mess with. So I'm gonna push this up to like 90 milliseconds because it's a kind of a slower song, and let's find almost like I wouldn't say quarter note, almost like an eighth note sort of delay if you know music. Let's try.
I fought the fight to take revenge, although we die again to end the rule of Moby Dick.
Cool, that's a huge difference. It's almost like it's almost like right in between her notes is when this reverb is really kicking in, and it has a lot of effect. So let's hear it with the band here.
I fought the fight to take revenge, although we die again to end the rule.
And it's cool because her vocal's really wet with a lot of reverb, but it now, since we added this pre-delay here, it sounds a little bit more dry with this more space around her, and that's a really good trick to separate that in your mixes. So I want to quickly show you really quick the difference that this makes. I'm going to bring up this vocal reverb on the fader here to like +6 so we can really hear it.
I I fought the fight to take revenge.
And I definitely recommend wearing headphones. So we're at 102 milliseconds. I'm going to take this back down to 20 so you can hear how that sounds.
I fought the fight to take revenge. Although we died,
So still sounds really good. Sounds super wet. Let's bring this back up to 102.
I fought the fight to take revenge. Although we die again to win the room.
It has just a feeling. It has a vibe. It's separated, and it completely changed the tone of this song with just that pre-delay. It's powerful. So the last thing I want to cover today, as far as vocal reverb, is a lot of plugins that you're going to be pulling up. If you have external plugins, reverb plugins, that sort of thing, some of the presets will come. So there's this low cut here and high cut. Some of those presets will come with them off. So we're going to go ahead and do that real quick. I'm going to take my low cut all the way out and my high cut all the way out. And all this is it's saying, okay, my low cut, I want to cut all the low frequencies below whatever I'm setting this at. And same thing with the high cut. I'm going to cut all the high frequencies above whatever I'm setting this as, right? So I want to let you listen to how this sounds with my low cut and high cut just off here.
I fought the fight to take revenge. Although we die again.
All right, let's solo out the lead vocal.
I fought the fight to take revenge. Although we die again.
So the high end of this reverb kind of made it sound more fake now. We're almost like in a crystal-y type room, which doesn't really fit this song with the nice acoustic guitars. And there's a lot of low-end information that is actually starting to cover up some of the acoustic guitars. So we want to address that. And how I normally address that is I will go to in any EQ. You can do this here, and that's totally fine, but I just kind of want to visually show you what this looks like. So the first thing is I think this low cut was a little bit too high because there was some really nice mushy reverb in there that sounded great to me. So I'm going to do my own low cut here, and we're going to go to about 200. So instead of 400, we're going to go to 200. And let's just hear how that sounds.
I fought the fight to take revenge. Although we died,
All right, now that's great. Sounds awesome. And then now I'm going to take some of those highs out. I think this one was at, a 4K or something like that. But I really want just those S's and crystal stuff out of there. So I'm going to go to about 5K here. A lot of those S's are in the 6 to 8K range. And a lot of that sizzly stuff is way up here in the 10K. So we're going to cut that stuff out, and let's hear how this sounds.
I fought the fight to take revenge. Although we die again.
So if you can hear, this actually set back the reverb just a little bit. It really pushed it to the back, and it added some dimension in the song with the vocal. So let's turn off this EQ and listen.
I fought the fight to take revenge.
Those high frequencies make it kind of come forward a little bit and a little distracting. Now let's turn on our EQ.
I fought the fight to take revenge. Although we die again.
All right, sweet. Now let's listen to it with the band on this section, and let's hear how it sounds all together.
I fought the fight to take revenge. Although we die again to win the rule of Moby Dick. Pull them down under the Essex founders.
Sweet. That sounds awesome. That's in a very, very good spot. So that is vocal reverb. So just to recap everything that we kind of did is we started off and we sent out a bus to bus 1. We labeled that bus, so now it's under Vox Verb, right? Then we added our hall reverb. Hall is a great kind of preset for a lot of reverbs for a kind of a slower song. We set our pre-delay to kind of have sort of an eighth note type feel in between her notes. Sounds really great. And then we took our EQ and we took out a lot of that low end stuff that was kind of messing with the guitar, and we took out the high end stuff and really pushed that reverb back and made it kind of glue a little bit more with the other instruments, which it's honestly in a really, really good spot. So real quick, let's mute this reverb. We'll hear just the beginning here.
I fought the fight to take revenge, although we died.
All right, let's turn it on.
I fought the fight to take revenge, although we died again to end the rule of Moby Dick.
So I know whenever a reverb sounds good, or an EQ or a compressor, anything like that sounds good, whenever I push play to listen back and I don't want to stop it. That's like my my little gold nugget for you. If you make some adjustments and then push play, and then you're like, you get into the song and you feel it and you're like, oh, and you just want to keep listening, that's when you know you're onto something. That's when you know that something that you're doing is right, and it feels good. And that's a powerful place to kind of be able to recognize that stuff, because that's what mixing is. It's finding those awesome moments and those moments that feel really nice and feel good, and capitalizing on them, because you know when a listener is going to listen to this song, they're going to feel that same way too. And it's just super powerful. So that is the video for this week. Next week we are going to go into some slap delay, which sounds funny that I would add slap delay in this song, but I'm excited to show you how cool that can be to add another dimension to these vocal effects and to the song in general. So look forward to that next Monday. And again, if you haven't yet, go grab that Ultimate Vocal Preset Bundle. Over 30 presets: compression, EQ, saturation. I'm using the same EQ compression here on this vocal, and it's if you're learning how to do EQ, learning how to compress, this preset bundle is perfect for you, because it's designed in a way to help you learn. It's not designed in a way to where you just throw it on all the vocals and they sound great and then you walk away from it. It's designed to get you in there, make adjustments on the things that matter the most, and that's when you start to learn how to EQ your own vocals yourself and compress your own vocals yourself. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.